Now I just
while people roll in.
yeah, but I'm also refreshing this so that I can watch the comments. Oh
Mm-hmm.
God. And I don't know how long this broadcast thing does it. Are we live?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're live.
I just because every time I watch the live chat, I have to go and pause the video so that it's not like playing in the background and being a douchebag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you.
But I think it was on my Welcome to the Shit Show video. I think that was the one because she or he or they commented, I recently found your channel through the Witchy chats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Witchy chats. But it seems like a lot of shit talking drama now. Well, it's my fucking channel. What's a coloring book witch? Clearly you don't know anything about the dairy drama. I love coloring and painting, art in general. I'm excited to watch your crystal videos. Blessings of peace on earth. And I was like, drama comes with the territory, and thanks for watching. And they're like, does that mean you're all about the drama? I was like, I mean, it's my channel, and I'll upload what I want. Stick around and find out for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And then this
Mm-hmm.
person's like, thanks for the clarification that you can upload what you want. I meant to say that your shit talking seems to be attracting a lot of drama to your life, and you will never evolve spiritually this way, and your magic ain't shit. So this person ends it by saying, and your magic ain't shit. And I was like, my channel is for everyone. There's your hint. My magic, quote unquote, is shit. As in it's like, you know, it's the shit. And I was like, so I'd be careful who you insult. And they're like, you're right, it is shit. And I was like, you wouldn't be worth my time or effort. Because they deleted their comment, but they told me to curse them or some shit like that. And I was like, you're an internet troll. And yeah, I don't know. So I had a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think my house is gonna burn down. Or something.
You got
I don't
something
know if my
burning
house
over there?
burns down. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm getting messages from everybody, and everybody just needs to leave me the fuck alone.
I'm the kind of person that there's just I wouldn't even give my energy to any of that shit. You know what I mean?
Now,
I'm gonna burn a patchouli incense.
what?
I'm gonna burn a patchouli incense.
So my laptop might die in the middle of this because it literally smells like something's burning.
Oh, is it your laptop?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out if this like cuts out. Because if it cuts out, then I'm royally fucked with a capital F-U and a mother CK.
Do you want to
No.
feel it? Feel the bottom of it. See if it's hot.
Well, it's always hot because it's an older laptop, but I don't know. It just smelled funky for a second, but it's fine now.
Mm.
So we're having technical difficulties and issues and crap, and nobody's in our live chat, and there are 6 people apparently watching, and I don't know, and I don't care anymore. This is my channel. You don't like it, get the fuck off.
I sent the link to YouTube, pagans.
Did you? Are you sneezing on the incense?
No, I'm blowing at it obnoxiously.
You're like...
No, I'm just blowing at it obnoxiously because that's who I am inside.
So apparently we are discussing the concept of what magic is. Is it psychosomatic? What are the ethics and responsibilities of a witch in modern times compared to times past? And why is there such an emphasis on color magic, white witches, and doing no harm? So in other words, we're like fucking talking about Wicca, rede, and ethics and responsibilities of today's modern witch compared to, say, somebody in like maybe the 13th, 14th, or earlier centuries when magic was more primitive and it was more folk-based and like less giving a shit about hurting someone's fucking feelings by reading tarot cards about them. Like back in those days, you could spy on your fucking neighbors by just reading their tarot cards and finding out what the fuck is going on in their life. You do that today and you have half the fucking internet wanting to like rip you a new one because it violates their precious Wiccan rede.
Well, you have to understand. Holy crap, it's loud and echoey.
I don't have to understand anything. You have to understand.
Yeah. When I think about that, I think about the fact that this day and age, you know, witchcraft is used for so many different things. rather than what it was used for back in the day. Back in the day, the old times, the ancient times, it was literally used for battle. It was used for protection, like real ass protection, like from people that wanted to raid your house and burn you to the ground. So you have to understand that listen, there's witches nowadays who are badass to us, who would be fluffy bunnies to the witches of old.
Oh, for sure. Like, I could easily tell you that, you know, there's a couple of witches that I look up to that I'm like, you would be a fluffy bunny to some of these other bitches in like the 16th century who could probably curse you into the fucking ground and then put concrete on top of you and let you rot. Whereas
Exactly.
the witches today that we look up to, who we consider powerful, are people who could do the exact same thing to us. So my question is, I guess we'll start with the concept of what is magic, and is it all just psychosomatic?
Well, I guess it depends on who you ask.
Well, I'm asking you. Discussion.
Well, obviously. Hi, I'm Random. If you didn't know who the hell I was, Random Witch. The way I see it is, from my experiences, I have learned through seeing, feeling, experiencing that this shit is not just coincidence, and that it would not make sense.
Sorry.
It's okay. It would not make sense for all these coincidences to be happening. It's like a proven theory in my mind. Too many things have happened in my life to prove the theory that magic is real.
Okay.
To prove to take away my own self-doubt that it is real. Too many things have happened in succession of doing a working, in succession of seeing things that, you know, other people don't see. And there's been too many times where I could be like, you know, you're pregnant, or, you know, I knew when my sister was in pain and she was 30 miles away from me, and I called her up and was like, what's wrong? And she was like, something's wrong, I'm hurting. And there was so many times where it's just been too real. It's happened too many times for me to say, this can't be real. It's just in my head. It's just, you know, powerful, you know, positive vibes and blah, blah, blah. No. Because some of it has been really dark. So to me, it's been proven in my mind. Whether it's proven to other people, that's them.
So I want to challenge you on that. And, you know, keep in mind, this is all discussion.
Yep.
But how do you take events such as the ones you described and call them magic? Like, what makes that magic to you? Because that, to me, just makes it sound like, you know, you have a strong relationship with this person that you called when they're in pain, or, you know, like, there's been lots of times where people will talk about, you know, their love of their life gets hit by a car in another country and they instantly feel it, but people don't call that magic. People don't really have an explanation for it, but they don't call that magic. So, like, how, I guess, in your opinion, do you define that as magic?
Of course, I define that as magic. What is magic? Magic to me is energy movement, energy manipulation, energy transformation. And if I'm connected to someone, if I'm connected to somebody through energy and I feel them going through something, why wouldn't I call that magic? Why wouldn't I call that, you know, not a coincidence? And again, like, we're talking about if magic is real. Like I said, there's been too many times where I've taken a working or a spell or a meditation or whatever the F I was doing, right? And the thing that I was working towards happens very quickly. And before that, it wasn't.
Do you understand?
Hold on a second.
Eat your fucking food. Get your feet on top of the carpet. Eat your food. We're apparently having psychological issues. Let me tell you what magic is, people. Magic is fake. Magic doesn't exist. Witchcraft is fake and doesn't exist. And if you believe in witchcraft, you're the devil, and you should be put to death. Just fucking kidding. Like, calm your fucking titties down. Strongbow. Bow? Bro? I don't know. Drink it. That's all I fucking care about. I think she has some good points, ladies and gentlemen. While she's dealing with whatever the fuck she's dealing with, I thought we would have a little discussion, just me and you, about how magic affects people's lives. No, you don't love me, okay? You don't love me. I don't love you. Ain't no love going on here, lady of the goddamn rose. Oh, the bitch is back. Let's get normal.
Okay, I'm back.
I know, you're gonna have to like watch this video because I just did a whole rant.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got like 6 more apology videos to make at least at this point in time.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
That's always going to be fun.
oh, we got 3 more to do to Sunshine, 4 to do to Tequila. That's 7. Oops. I spoke with Tequila last night.
Did you? That's good.
Ooh, girl. I had an interesting conversation with her. A lot of it that I'm not going to repeat here because hello.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was a good conversation, and
That's awesome.
yeah. Wait, what? Yes, it is, and you know it, Lady of the Rose. Nobody has any fucking context. Anyways, so we were talking about how magic is real, and in my opinion, obviously magic is real. I just wanted to like challenge you and be like, "Yo, bitch, how do you know it's real?"
That's how, yeah, proven things that prove it to me. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and to me, it's when things happen that I've asked for, or I've put the energies out there, and I've really put in the human work and the magical work, and it just manifests. And I'm just like, okay, I see you. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
So since we have an understanding of what magic is, which is things that we can't otherwise explain, but are proven by our own experiences to be magical.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, Wicca and shit, get a shotgun. That'll deal with your sister. Anyways.
We've got a lot of different people on the chat tonight. It's pretty cool. Hi, guys.
Really? I've seen all of these people before. Lady of the Road.
Well,
What?
I've only been on your chats for like 3 times now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying not to do videos anymore because I've pre-recorded all of 2017. So, but yeah, so we've discussed like that. Magic is this thing that, by our own experiences, is things that we wouldn't otherwise be able to explain, and all of that jazz. But how do we know that? Let's say, for example, you know, I piss you off, which I tend to do on a daily basis, and you decide to throw some cat, you throw some cat bones at me and curse me or what have you. How do we know that it's not psychosomatic, that you know, like, this isn't, you know, because, like, for example, if I pissed off Tequila and she said she was going to do something to me, right? Like, obviously I would be afraid, but how do I know that the things that aren't starting to manifest in my life aren't because of my own fears and my own fear-driven mind? How do we know that whether it's a curse, whether it's healing, whether it's protection, whatever, how do we know it's real and not psychosomatic?
I like that question. That's a good question.
Of course it is.
how to answer this.
God, maybe we should have waited.
The only way that you would have to prove whether or not it is psychosomatic is if nobody told you about the curse, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a recording or a recorded time or date that she had done said curse,
Mm-hmm.
and you couldn't know about it, and then those things happened to you. The things that she cursed you with happened to you. That would be the only way to know whether it was psychosomatic or not. Because if you take you knowing out of that variable, take that variable out of the equation, I think that's the only way that you can know for sure.
Okay.
To me, I think your fear feeds it.
Oh, for sure.
Like, there's been times where people have...
Like, if I piss off Tequila and she just doesn't say anything, and then she goes and fucking curses me or protects me or whatever she wants to do, it doesn't always have to be negative. So whatever the magic wants to do, she sends it my way, but nobody tells me. And then shit starts happening, and I start putting it on YouTube, and she's sitting there being like, I made that happen. I made that happen. And then she finally decides to come out and say, you know, I made that happen. I've had a few witches in the last few days who have commented on, you know, like have sent me messages and on Facebook saying, oh, your car issues, that was me because you were a dick to my friend Derry, or all of this shit that's going on YouTube right now, that was me because of how you treated Derry. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, please. So how do we differentiate between, no, you're a stupid idiot, this was not you, and, you know, I actually think you might have some power? Like, what gives a witch power? And how do we, because there's a lot of times where people will put on YouTube, you know, my life is falling to shit, and people will be like, hey, well, I did this to you. And it's like, no, you fucking didn't. But how do you know they didn't, and how do you know that they did?
That's very true. There's really no way of knowing that. There's ways of guessing. There's ways of divinationally looking into it, finding that answer within yourself and within your own knowing. But like we talked about confidence, remember? And we talked about the importance of confidence in your craft. And I think that confidence helps to protect you, but it also can undermine you.
Well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
That would be cockiness, not confidence, if it's undermining you.
Right, but if you have...
like a high degree that I know for a fact that none of Derry's friends or Derry herself could fucking curse me into anything. Like they're the people that keep coming to me like, oh, your life is falling to shit. This is because of X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, you had nothing to do with this. But the reason I asked this question is because Tequila did a video a few moons ago about how she was getting this new house. And she didn't want to say anything on YouTube because she was afraid that the story that she told in this video about how, you know, her father, this, that, and the other thing, some stuff, she was afraid that some witches would try and come and take credit for that. So this leads me to the question of, okay, are you just taking credit, or did you actually do this? And if you actually did this, what proof do you have?
Yeah, they would literally have to do like a live or a recording of it, of the event, right? Of the spell or curse or hex or whatever. And then have posted that like beforehand, before any of this shit were to happen to you. That's the only way that someone would believe that. To say, oh, well, we saw that, she did curse you to have your car taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Or she did curse you to foul up on one of your videos. And there's the proof. It did happen. Cause and effect. There we go. But there is none of that, right?
So this leads to my other question of, there's this concept of where if you're to do a curse or a heal or whatever on somebody, it doesn't matter what kind of magic, but if you're to do magic on somebody, you have to be linked to that person. So for example, if I wanted to curse you so that vape thing would explode in your face the next time you went on it, I would, according to a lot of educated resources out there on the subject of magic, I would have to create some replication of you and the thing you're attached to and have something of yours to use with that. So what they're basically saying is that you can't just envision that thing exploding in your face, because that kind of projection doesn't work when you have no attachment to the person. And I wanted to know what your thoughts on this are, because I hear a lot on the internet about these fucking witch wars going back and forth of people cursing each other. And I'm like, are you really cursing each other? Because you have no direct attachment to that person. You have none of their hair. You have nothing of theirs. All you've done is made a puppet and projected yourself, like your energies, into that puppet to be of that person. Is that really enough?
Mm.
I don't know if that thing blows up in your face. I'm just kidding.
That's interesting. I assume that this is a lot of your folk magician stuff, because that's very folk magician-y.
Well, I have this article, and I'll grab it.
Sure. Okay, while he's gone, everybody like the video.
While I'm gone, everybody had better fucking like the video, or I'm gonna burn their houses to the ground. Okay, so I printed off this article, and I'll link it below, but it's from the fuck website is this from? I don't know, but it's from this guy named Ian Sturrock, and it's called The Ethic, Theory, and Practice of Cursing, and it's by like this White Dragon website or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says in here, and give me a second while I find it. Okay, so there's the law of sympathy and the law of contagion. The law of sympathy is like affects like. So a voodoo doll or puppet can be constructed in the image of the victim, and what you do to it will affect the victim because of their similarity. So like if I made a puppet that represented you with the blue and the green hair, and I stabbed it with pins and shit on it, that would happen to you. Although I don't really picture shit falling from the sky and landing on you, but one can envision this. Whereas the law of contagion is once together, always together. So you can make your voodoo dolly more effective by stapling a lock of your victim's hair or swatch of clothing to it. It is noted that you do not need a magical link if you have a physical link. Clearly, you can affect someone magically through touch. All magical link is a way for you to complete the circuit at a distance. So basically what they're saying is that, okay, if you can make a puppet that represents somebody and you want to do magics on it, and this doesn't just have to be cursing, but if you want to do magics on it, then that puppet has to be as similar to the other person as possible. But if you can get something of theirs, it makes the spell even stronger. I'm wondering if this even plays into how this plays into effect at all, because you know, you hear on YouTube sometimes about these witch wars, and it's like, is this really a witch war, or is this just fucking people throwing around their ego, saying they're gonna curse people, and then they fucking go and blow their boyfriend instead of actually cursing the person?
Okay, so I'd like to definitely talk about the connection. Now, in my own personal opinion, I believe that names have a lot of power. That's why I don't give out my given name. And that means nobody on the internet knows my name. Even if you have my Facebook, you don't have my real name. Good luck, sweetie. Nobody knows my real name except the people I live with. And it'll stay that way.
Okay, wait. So you have Facebook.
Yes, I do.
And I'm on your Facebook.
Yes, you are.
Now, let's pretend for example, that your name is, I don't know, let's go with Ravenflower. This is better. This is a better example.
Okay.
Because Ravenflower doesn't actually have her actual name on the internet, as far as I can tell. And she is my friend on Facebook, but she does not have her actual name anywhere on the Facebook, but she does have pictures of herself. So if name is so important, and if I really wanted to, like, I don't know, if I was pissed off at her and I wanted to curse her, I could technically go to that Facebook page, print off her picture, staple it to a voodoo doll, and start molesting the doll. That sounds horrible, but you get my point. So is
yes, you could.
Or is it just connection in general? And do pictures work? And especially if pictures work, printed pictures from the internet.
I hear you. To me, now this is going off of folk magic, you really need to either know the person's given name, or you need to know, or you need to have that connection of a physical item of theirs. But you can do the resemblance of a person. You can go off of a picture. But which one is more powerful, I think? I definitely think a person's items, such as hair, clothing, an item that they once owned, would definitely be a more powerful item. But definitely their name would definitely give it power. There's been all kinds of, I don't know what it's called, myths in the past, talking about how powerful a name is. And I do believe that. That's why I don't give mine out. And I do believe that there can still be power from taking someone's image, making a puppet, something like that. But could it be as strong as to critically affect another witch who has protection on themselves?
Well,
I'm not sure.
For me, and I can talk about this now because magics have already been done and the messages have been sent. Now, I never cursed Derry Carpenter, but I sent her messages that have then reflected into reality a few days later, when either her sister would message me and try and start shit, or Derry would start and trying to get rope people in, and you only start playing the victim when people start showing you your true self. And so,
hold on one second.
Cut this bitch, everybody.
Damn it. Give me 1 second. I have to go sneeze really hard.
Well,
Don't do it.
Broke the fucking internet. Yeah. Anyways, Alex guy, people ask questions. People ask fucking questions in the goddamn comments. Yeah. You people sicken me. Disgust me. No wonder I drink. No wonder I drink. It's because of you, Alex Guy 61. Why don't you just call yourself Alex Guy 911? Because then I could call 911 and they'd be like, "How can we help you?" And I'd be like, "Alex Guy dying." And they'd be like, "Who is Alex Guy?" And I'd be like, "I don't know." See how that works out? And Jim, I see you talking about sticking pins and candles and shit. I stick all of that up my ass on a daily basis.
Sorry.
I
didn't actually mean to get off of the pudding.
What?
I didn't mean to get off.
To get off? So sneezing gets you off? Well.
No. My phone actually turned off. I was like, oh, I hope I didn't pop out of the call.
Nature Dream, yes, I did get your friend request and I hit the delete button. Don't be offended.
And yes, my name isn't actually Mira. Like I said, nobody will ever know my real name.
But I've got a picture of you if I wanted to curse you, so.
That's true.
So as I was telling you my story, do you believe in spiritual court helps block most minor curses? What the fuck is a spiritual court? We'll answer that question in a minute. As I was telling you, fuck was I telling you? Oh yes, I was talking about Derry Carpenter. So I sent her some messages, basically to just hold the mirror up. And a couple of days later, this bitch starts playing the victim and saying that, she's a bad person and she wonders why people don't like her, so on and so forth. And so I knew that my magics at that particular point worked. And all I had of hers as a folk magician is her name, Derry Carpenter, an image of herself embedded in my skull that constantly made me want to puke, and a poppet that I had stuck some pins with. Now, I had made a specific kind of cursing liquid, and I'm not going to get into how I made that, but I had made this specific kind of cursing liquid that when I burn it, this bitch constantly gets messages of like, you're a fraud, you're a fake, you need to get off the internet, all this other stuff. And one of the things I want to talk to you about, speaking of folktales, is In folk tales of curses often seem much more severe than in modern times. This is partly down to the exaggeration, boasting elements of folk tales. So because I do draw a lot on folk tales and folk magic, one has to wonder how much of this is exaggerated. So like, you know, pissing in a jar with pins in it, did people really do that? To, you know, just the everyday modern folk stories. Like, what is a story and what is fact, and are the two actually together because they've been mingled?
Personally, I think if your intention is strong enough, I think you could definitely affect a person even without a link, even without a poppet, even without this, even without that. I think the power of intention is very important, and I've experienced that myself. The power of intention,
Are you
especially
saying
with cursing and hexing.
Well, even with any kind of magic, if I sit here just on my own, no tools, no magical, nothing, and just visualize you getting over this cold, that it will affect you.
I think it could. I think if you're, listen, it comes with the true intentions. Is it just, man, I want to see if this works. Let's try. Or do you really want this person to feel better? Do you care for this person enough to put as much energy as you possibly can into healing their cold? It's got to be a true intention. It can't be half-assed. Magic half-assed is never done right. And magic half-assed is never done.
And I totally agree with you, because when I did the dairy stuff, it was very much like, it was a 3-day long, you know, work this thing every day as long as possible. And I knew when she got the message, because I received the message, that she got the message. And it was just like, okay. And now I'm physically drained and exhausted. And I know when magic works because I'm physically drained and exhausted. I sent some messages to Sunshine Morning Ray through some incense smoke, and like nothing negative, absolutely nothing.
Right.
But I sent some messages to Sunshine Morning Ray the other day, and I was just exhausted at the end of that. But I knew she got the messages, because when the spirits around you that you're working with and the entities that you're working with are like, okay, it's done. You know, like,
yeah, your guides, yeah,
exactly.
the spirits you're talking.
It really depends on, like you're saying, your true intentions. And I find a witch is at their most powerful when they're putting their true side forward, instead of just the side that they're showing to, I don't know, maybe your coven, maybe YouTube, maybe Facebook, whatever. Because, you know, there's a lot of, why the fuck is Nature Gym leaving? Motherfucker, please.
I get what you're saying, and I have to agree that when you witch alone, you probably show the truest side of yourself to the goddess, to the god, or just to your magical workings, whether you even work with a deity or not, whether you're an elemental witch or what have you, whatever you're working with. I think that when you work alone, you definitely show the true self, the real intention, the true intention. And I think that that is a hard mirror to look into. I think that we all come to a time where we look into the mirror and we say, you know, this isn't who I want to be. I want to be better. You know what I mean? And then we have to deal with that. And that's really hard. And then we have to be like, well, I can't just do nothing. I have to take action. So you have to put intention to it, and you have to put work into it. And like that, if you doubt yourself in what you're doing, if you think to yourself, I don't know if this is going to work, then you undermine your own working. You must have faith in what you're doing. And that's very hard. That's a very hard step for new witches. And that's still a hard step for some, you know, witches that have been doing this for years.
Well, I definitely struggle with that for sure. Like when I'm dealing with like this car thing that I was dealing with, like I had some workings going on to make this whole thing speed up. And when it was starting to take its fucking precious time, I was like, is my magic's really working? Because like the spell that I have should have had me an answer 3 days ago, and now it's 2 weeks later, and I'm just getting my answer. Like, is my magic working? Like, there's definitely a level of confidence that comes with it, but there's also like a level of like insecurity, I guess.
I think there's always that when you to the altar to do a working. I think you always have to look into that mirror of, do you really think you can do this? Do you really think you're a real witch? And you have to look at it and you have to truthfully say, I am a real witch. And I don't think I can do this. I know I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it. And it's not confidence. It's not cockiness. It's drive. It's you are intent on making this happen so much that it will happen for you. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of that, yes, Alex Guy, you should ask questions. God, don't make me tell you again or I'll cut you. I did want to answer one of the questions up here by Autumn Young. I know I'm
sure.
Do you believe that cursing others who aren't witches is as effective as cursing others who are? I think that if you put the intentions out there, because let me tell you a story, Autumn Young. Once upon a fucking time, I had some guy get all pissy because I told him he could not park. In our parking lot, we've got 7 stalls for 12 units. There's not enough space. And so when we have assholes who don't fucking live in our building parking in our stalls, taking up that space, I will call them out on it. So he got pissy and decided to threaten me and tell me that I should stay the fuck out of things I don't understand and that he would teach me a lesson next time. I went to this dollar store and I got this round styrofoam ball and I used Psalms 109. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, look it up. But I used Psalms 109 and I put this fucker on the ground and he's been fired from his job. He's been in a car accident and his wife has recently left him. He is friends with the crackheads that live in this apartment building. So that's how I know this. So I'm just like, okay, you fuck with me and I'll teach you a real lesson. But he's not a witch. So I really do believe that it doesn't matter who you are, or if you believe in magic, or if you're a devout Christian, or if you're a child pedophile. If I want to curse you and my intention is strong enough, I'm going to put you in the fucking ground and let you rot.
Now everybody, children's, gather around. Here is another story. Are we ready? I'm sure that if anybody has watched our shows before that we've done with chats together, they've heard this story. My mother cursed a work colleague of hers whenever they butted heads together, and my mom had lost her job because of this person. And hold on one second. Listen, you need to calm down. Okay? Calm yourself.
What are you talking about? Or to?
I'm talking to my incense.
Is your
my incense is just getting too much. It's too much incense.
Sorry. I fumigate my food.
I'm sick, honey.
In my place,
I can't do it.
In my place, I can have at any given time about 13 incense sticks burning.
Well, usually I can take it, but I'm not feeling good, so. Okay, so back to the story. Children's, gather around. Now, I watched this happen. I watched my mother curse this person. And I felt the wrongness of it because the amount of anger she put into it had overwhelmed the reasoning why she did it. I felt that it was wrong. I felt that it was dark. I felt that it overstepped a boundary and crossed a line. 3 months later, the same person that she cursed fell through a rotted staircase, broke her legs, broke her arms, broke her neck, nearly died. After that day, the curse came back to my mother and stuck with her for the rest of her life. She essentially cursed herself by cursing another person. Now, let's think about this. Cause and effect. It's what I believe in. It's what I have seen as proven theory to myself. Cause and effect. She cursed someone for, I mean, a reason to be angry at this person? Definitely. She definitely had a reason to be angry. Did she have a true reason to really curse this person? I don't believe so. I don't believe she did. And the fact that she put so much power into it, that this woman nearly lost her life over a dispute at work. The line had been crossed, and the lesson needed to be taught. And I learned that lesson better than my mother did, just from watching what had happened to my mother and to this woman. Therefore, I do not do malediction. I don't disrespect people who do, but to myself, I believe it is too high a cost for myself. If I could, in essence, curse myself by cursing someone else, why give that energy? Why give that event happening? Why fuel that fire? I don't believe it's worth it at all. I would rather try to protect myself, heal myself, work on myself, and if I need to, put up some defensive spells. Because defensive spells, to me, are not curses or hexes. They are exactly what they sound like. They are neutral magic. And yes, it can bite the person in the ass if they come after me again. Do I believe that is perfectly fine? Hell yes, I do. I've used it multiple times, but I need to go after people that have wronged me to the deepest part of my soul. I wish I did sometimes. I wish I could be my own avenging angel. But I don't need that in my life. I've come to understand that and learn that and see that and feel it because I have been betrayed down to the deepest parts of me, down to my soul, by the people who I did love most and trusted most and honored most. And I have given chances and I have given chances, and I have come to realize that that path is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
The destruction that's within me, that I could point at somebody, would cross a line every time. I have too much rage to point that at someone else, and it would be irresponsible of me as a witch, as a healer, as a medium, to do so. That is how I believe.
Okay, well, I have some disagreements with you, and we all know that I would have disagreements because I like to rip people new holes when I think they're being stupid. But I don't
Of course.
think stupid. I just want to rip you a new hole. Selenite dildo? Okay, what is going on in the fucking chat? You all need to calm your little fucking titties down before I come to your houses and slit Billy's throat. And if you don't know who Billy is, I will go find a Billy and bring him to your house and slit his throat in front of you. So,
and he's talking about a goat. Billy the goat.
Yeah, I'm talking about a goat. Yeah, I'm definitely, no. Anyways, so I'm talking about a 6-year-old boy who has his whole world in front of him. I will kill him in front of you. Anyways, not literally. Don't take that literally. I don't have enough time to do apology videos anymore. So here's what I think. I think that the only way you can really curse yourself is if you strongly, strongly link yourself to that person. Like you have to, in my opinion, be thinking about that person every day, all the time. They're just pissing you off and you're just constantly thinking about them. So you're emotionally and in some way sympathetically attaching yourself to that person. So that when you curse them, you essentially curse yourself as well. Now, for me, in this particular case with this douchebag, I was not attached to him. I was not, like, I was thinking about him and what he said, but my anger pretty much overrode that and was just like, I'm just not, like I did what I did and I just let him go. And I think that's the difference between a lot of different types of witches, is that some people cannot let things go. Like I sent my messages to Derry and I let the bitch go. And I knew she got them and she can deny it if she wants. I sent my messages to Sunshine Morning Ray and I know she got them. I sent, like I cursed this dude. I've cursed the crackheads who live below me. I mean, nobody's lived in that apartment below me ever since they moved out because I've cursed the actual place. So I don't physically or emotionally or mentally attach myself to these things, places, or people, because I do realize that, yes, if you actually emotionally attach yourself, this shit's going to come back to you. And that leads me into this other concept that I want to talk about, and we're going to start pissing off the community random. Are you ready to piss off the community with me?
I'm always ready.
Excellent. We're going to talk about how the Wiccan rede and the concept of karma, well, not necessarily karma in the way that we're thinking about it, but the concept of how people are like, oh, you can't do that because it goes against the Wiccan rede and do no harm, do what you will, is utter bullshit. Now, I only say this, and I'm totally open for disagreements, because I think that we as witches have to do whatever it is we have to do to protect our own. Now, I do know that there are some witches out there who will not curse like yourself, but do defensive magic so that if somebody tries to send something their way, it either gets sent back to them or it gets sent back to them and they get taught a lesson. I have put up a bubble around my place where if people were to try and send something my way, it's going to get sent back to them and they're going to be taught that, you don't fuck with this person. Look up Psalms 140 and that's my protection magics. Yeah, you people will realize, oh, you're sending this back to us, then you're making us rot in a pit. So I wanted to discuss with you why the community thinks that this whole Wiccan rede, threefold law of attraction, or karma, or whatever you want to call it, seems to be a really huge issue when at the end of the day, all we're doing is we're either protecting our own, or in your case, we're just throwing up defenses that some people would find offensive and dark magic.
You know what, Adam? Weirdly enough, I agree with you.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
I think that I know. I'm coming to the dark side. What's happening? Are there cookies?
Yes, there are cookies. There's also beer, but it's only 5. So.
I actually agree with you that the "and it harm none" that people take so literally in the rede is practically the most improbable thing that you could live by. Because if you think about it, anytime you do a spell that is not on yourself, that goes out the window. I'm sorry. That's my complete understanding and belief, is that anytime you try to do any magic that is not on yourself, then you're manipulating somebody else's energy or fate or whatever you want to call it. Therefore, how can you say that it's not harmful?
Well,
how can you say that it's not wrong? How can you say that it's not invasive magic? How could you say that? There's no way.
I want to take this one step further. You said anytime you do any magic that's on anything but yourself. So self-harm is, because if you really think about it, if I do a spell to heal you, I'm influencing. I'm not completely controlling or taking over, but I'm influencing fate to say, maybe this person shouldn't be dying of cancer right now. Or maybe this person who's got this cold, that fate has decided this cold's going to get worse and they're going to end up dying because it's their time. You know, maybe I'm deciding, you know, I don't want that to happen. So I'm intervening. I'm fucking around with things that I don't understand by casting a little protection spell, a little healing spell. I mean, think about shows like Charmed for just a second, realizing it's fantasy, but also realizing one key element. They never did any spells to bring them a man. No spells to bring them, like, to heal them. There was an episode where they healed Piper, but a disease got out. There was no spells to do protection. There was a protection spell, but like some guy death was like, yeah, you're fucking with fate here. So if
you're talking about there's always a price.
Yes, well, it's not even just that there's always a price, but if you're taking your concept of doing, you know, magic on somebody else is bad, well, then doing magic on yourself is equally as bad because you're intervening with your own fate as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take that for a second and you're like, okay, I'm going to banish this bad person out of my life because they're negative. But then you turn around and you're like, I'm going to banish this negativity out of my life. Like, where's the fine fucking line here, people? Like, you can't have your fucking cake and eat it too. You can't do a prosperity spell on yourself and then, you know, turn around and try and say, oh, well, you can't do a love spell on Bob because that's just wrong. But you're taking money away from somebody else in the universe to bring it to yourself for whatever intentions. It doesn't care if you need to pay rent or whatever. And that's where I really hate modern day Wicca, because modern day Wicca is all about don't do anything to anybody else, do it all to yourself. But oh wait, what? Like, where's the fucking line?
And if you think about it, it's literally, you could still do spells on yourself, like you were talking about. Let's bring a job in for instance. Example 1. You want to get this job. You've already tried interviewing for this job. And you think, I'm going to do a spell to get this job. I'm going to do a spell so that I look like the best candidate for this job. Does that mean you just took this job from somebody who was actually better qualified than you? How is that in harm at none? Think about that.
Well, that also leads me to the other thing, is because people in today's fluffy fucking Wicca hippy dippy bullshit magic keep saying, you know, harm none, do what you will. Anything you do when it comes to spells or rituals that isn't about celebrating the god and the goddess and the changing of the seasons, anything. You could be doing a make my husband fuck me harder spell. You could be doing a whatever spell. Any spell you do is essentially going against your precious little Wiccan rede. And what people don't understand is that Gerald Gardner got together with his coven and cursed Hitler. So, and he invented Wicca. So do you really want to fucking sit there and tell me that what I'm doing, and I get this on a daily basis, do you really want to fucking sit there and tell me that what I'm doing is against the fucking Wiccan rede when your Lord and Savior, as you would put it, Gerald Gardner and his coven cursed fucking Hitler? And I'm not talking banished or whatever your little Wicca term is. I'm talking actually cursed. So where do these people get off with their fucking high horse is what I want to know.
Well, I think it comes down to a primal need for a guideline to your life, because there's so much chaos in the world. You want to have a set of standards to live by, a set of guidelines to live by. I think that's why a lot of people go to, you know, the Bible, they go to the Quran, they go to, you know, Judaism. I think that's why people like religion, because it is a guideline to live your life by. It makes the chaos more manageable. I think that's why, you know, the world has laws. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I mean, and let's just be honest, the person is smart. Like my boyfriend always says this. A person is smart. People are dumb. You know what I mean?
Well,
When
people
you get
left
when you
idiots.
when you get into huge groups of beliefs, and this is not taking away from the validation of those beliefs. It's just that like we'll talk about, and sorry if we offend people, but that's our lives.
Continue.
Let's take the Bible, for instance. A person will take such like a no push stance, like there's no budging on their stance of um, um, gay people are abominations, but they'll wear two different clothes together. I don't know what that's called, fabrics. They'll wear two different types of fabrics together and not even bat an eye. When it says, that's basically an abomination to the Lord as well. You know what I mean? Eating pork. They don't care about that because they know it's ridiculous. They want to eat pork. They think to themselves, well, these are just the ridiculous guidelines. I don't have to take care of that. But, this makes me uncomfortable. So I really want to make sure that everybody knows you can't do that. It happens to witches too. I think the Wiccan rede is one of those things. I think the Wiccan rede, in it harm none, is one of those things.
This leads me into thinking that, and somebody mentioned this, Wicca and shit mentioned this in the chat, that Gerald Gardner didn't create the Wiccan rede, and they're completely correct. There definitely was no mention of it before 1975. And this is, a lot of people get really offended when I say that Wicca today is nothing more than hippy-dippy fucking flower child bullshit wannabe magic. And when I say that, think about and I always preach the Buckland's book, but if you actually picked it up and looked at it for like 2 seconds, you're gonna realize this is some fucking 1970 stuff. Like you're getting Wicca at its rawest form, and what people don't understand is that Wicca evolved from ceremonial magic and other forms of magic, of course. But if you look at ceremonial magic is drawing on intelligent beings, whether they be below or above us, so like angels or demons. Now people get really fucking spooked and crazy when they think that, oh, you're conjuring the devil, you must be doing black evil magic. And
Stephanie's pissed.
well, I'm trying to give Stephanie the fucking link. Give me a second so I can give Stephanie the link.
I thought you had talked to her already and she was busy.
You know what? I'm going to say this on live chat, and I don't care if I have to make an apology video for Stephanie. Stephanie, you're a dumb cunt.
Oh my God.
This is my channel, and if people don't like saying that, then they can get the fuck off of it. Stephanie, I sent you the link to joining the Hangouts on Messenger.
I didn't know. I thought he already asked you. It's not my fault. Don't look at me. I'm not the guilty party. It's Adam again. Adam, it's all your fault.
No, Random Witch said to me that I want nothing to do with Stephanie because she's a dumb bitch.
Show me the receipts, bitch. Show me the receipts.
Oh, I'll make a fucking video. And why are you not joining the chat, you stupid skank? I sent you the link. Anyway,
listen,
so but
like
no,
we were saying.
Well, what
like we were saying, it's all about what
sentence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, as I was saying, Wicca today, and I will offend everybody by saying this, but I've already said it, is hippy-dippy bullshit magic. Whereas if you look to what it really is, it's truth and honesty about finding out about yourself and exploring your own human side, whether that's naked in a circle full of other naked, ugly people, or whether that's in your living room. But 90s Wicca is all about this fucking peace and love and making sure you're not offending anybody. And like, I personally think anybody who practices 90 versions of Wicca, like 90s version of Wicca, is fucking stupid. Hello, Stephanie, you're sideways.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
We're talking about how Wicca's stupid.
Really?
No, we're talking about how the Wiccan rede is taken too seriously by people.
So we're talking about post-1970s Wicca, how, in my opinion, it's hippy-dippy bullshit magic that anybody who practices is an idiot, and how the Wiccan rede is taken far too fucking seriously.
It is taken far too fucking seriously. Like, people are like, oh, I'm totally just, like, into the Wiccan rede, and if you're not, then you're not a real Wiccan. And I'm like, fuck yourself, bitch.
Exactly. Thank you. Oh my God, I've got 2 other bitches who approve of my hatred of this bullshit.
It's you know what? 10 out of 10 would recommend Adam's Rage.
Alex9611 says, I'm the one everybody comes for. Oh, wait, that could be taken the wrong way.
Comes for? Well, I don't come for anybody except hot guys on my phone, so.
Ooh.
I don't know, man.
But no, somebody had said that, you know, Wicca's not supposed to be nice and safe and etc. It's not. People are just dumb. And people really are fucking stupid. Because, I mean, think about it. Like, yes, we get together, or if you're in a coven, or if you're a high priest or priestess or whatever, you know, a lot of Wicca is borrowed from, like I said, ceremonial magic and other magics. And if you look at these types of magics, they have a history of teaching bitches a fucking lesson when you fuck with them. I mean, ceremonial magic has a few spells in there to conjure fucking demons to go and haunt your neighbor because they're being too loud or whatever.
I like what Wicca and shit said. The rede doesn't even mean law. It means counsel or advice. It's not fucking holy writ.
Except people fucking treat it like the goddamn Bible. And
yep, they do.
Let me tell you a story. So once upon a time, I was trying to go and, like, I wanted to go on a date with this guy, and he was really gorgeous. And we went on a couple dates, and he was telling me some stuff about how his ex, like, really fucked things up and all this other stuff. So I decided to do a tarot reading. But I was asking the Facebook group, the Calgary Wicca bullshit motherfucking witchcraft group, what kind of a spread I could do. And everybody got on my fucking case, and I've made a video about this. Everybody got on my fucking case about how if I do a tarot reading on somebody without their permission, I am essentially breaking the precious Wiccan rede and I'm doing harm. Yet, hello, this is a tool that...
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and this is a fucking tool. This is a tool that people would use in the past to spy on their neighbors. I mean, I fucking use it to spy on Derry Carpenter all the time, and by the way, her life is going to shit. But I use it in that case in all of, you know, like, I don't personally see how fucking reading your goddamn tarot cards is doing you any fucking harm. You know, like...
I think people are... Hey, listen, in this day and age, honey, people get way too offended over every fucking thing there is out there.
Have you seen my channel?
Anything. And it's just like, I get that people want their privacy, and I think that's why people get so pissed about us, because they want to have their privacy protected. Well, then make your fucking bubble private from divination. Shield yourself from divinational use.
Speaking of that, I just wanted to touch on something before I turn the microphone over to Stephanie, because I know she's dying to fucking read me a new one for cutting her off all the time. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the ethics of the Wiccan rede and the concept behind the Wiccan rede. Now, the entire story of the Wiccan rede, if anybody actually fucking reads the story of the Wiccan rede, the entire poem or song or whatever you want to call it is all about honoring the Lord and the Lady and the changing of the seasons and death and rebirth and celebrating that. And yet, at the very, very bottom of it, all it says is do no harm, do what you will. And it's like these two little fucking lines have made this entire community divided. And where I want to go with that is think about this. You have the Christians telling the Wiccans to go fuck themselves and they're going to hell. And the Wiccans are getting all pissy over this shit, right? Now you've got the Wiccans telling the witches, the actual witches, that what they're doing is fucking wrong and they should go fuck themselves and they're going to go to whatever, hell or whatever. And it's like, wait, you're going to tell me what I'm doing is wrong and that I'm breaking some fucking commandment that you made up? Yet you've got Christians and Catholics and Jewish people telling you that what you're doing is blasphemous and wrong. And you have the fucking audacity to tell me that what I'm doing is wrong. Motherfucker, please! End of
Yeah, you'd think they'd be more open-minded since it's pagan or Wicca, you know what I mean?
No. I mean, I'd like to come off Adam's point there. You're saying, yes, the Christians and the Catholics and the whatever, the monotheistic people, a lot of these people came from a monotheistic background, so that's all they know. So they're still holding on to past teachings. So for them, anything that doesn't go with the new teachings, anything that they're like, I didn't read that in a book, so therefore it's not true, this, that, and another, they're still holding on to their monotheistic beginnings when they were little kids or whatever, So, I mean, you gotta cut them like this much slack, but at the same time, be like, look,
no, I don't think you do.
No, you really fucking
cord,
I said
bitch.
this much.
No. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So this whole concept of these little Wicca bitches coming from like Christianity or whatever and coming into this religion and being like, oh, well, I don't know any better. These bitches are nothing more than fucking book bitches. And there's nothing wrong with reading books. So before anybody flies off their handle and forces me to take this fucking live video down and make apology videos, there's nothing wrong with being a book witch. However, I want to say this. If all you do is fucking read and then preach the bullshit back at me and tell me that I'm fucking wrong because your precious little fucking Silver Ravenwolf or your precious Scott Cunningham or your precious fucking go fuck yourself told you that what I'm doing is wrong, how about you try fucking practicing your craft for, 5 fucking minutes before you dare to have the audacity to have an opinion that's formulated by some goddamn motherfucking book.
We're having a dance party.
To what?
To you.
Rant musical?
Yes, it is. It's a musical rant.
Like, is this a musical thing?
I don't know. I saw Stephanie doing it, and I was like, I'm a lemming. Let me join in.
I'm a dance. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
So what do you say, Stephanie? Oh, Wicca and shit says Silver Wolf triggers me.
Basically, what I'm saying, my entire argument is that people who come from monotheistic religions and who end up reading books and saying, well, if it's not in a book, it's wrong and you're doing it wrong, those assholes, fucking little cunts, need to get off their goddamn ass and fucking practice their fucking craft instead of trying to go after other people who are practicing their craft and exploring and keeping an open mind. I mean, I don't give a fuck if you are a Christian or a Jewish or a Muslim. If you want to come into this, the whole thing is to expand your mind and open your mind. And if you're not able to do that, then I'm sorry, but I really, really don't think this is the place for you.
No, and a lot of them are kind of exploring, and you probably won't see them like 5 years from now because this is a phase to them, and it's one of those things that they'll tell their kids, "Oh, it's evil, it's terrible. I was in it, and it was just horrifying. Oh, I'm so damaged."
There's a few witches on YouTube who have gone back and be like, "Oh, well, I had to get rid of all of my stuff."
I know, and I'm like, "Can I have it? I want it, please. I'll pay shipping." It's like, you got good shit, man. I've seen it.
I will never go back.
The way I see it, it's a lot of fear-based shit. You think of it this way: people fear what they don't understand, and people fear things that have been labeled in a bad light.
Ouija boards.
Malediction has been labeled and in a bad light. I personally think for a good reason. Because some of it is taken too far, but I do think that it is useful for some, for the right reasons. And if they don't go overboard and over the line, I think it can be used.
Well, for example, and this isn't just about malediction, but, there's this concept where, if I say to you that, I'm I'm going to help Stephanie out in her love life, and I'm just going to do a little something to attract a man to her. I'm not going to cast a love spell, but I'm just going to attract a man to her. Woman, I will steal whatever man I attract to you. But,
No, you won't, bitch. You're up in fucking Canada. Fuck you.
I'm fucking desperate. I'll fly to fucking Florida. But anyways. So, no, like...
Man. Come on,
But if I just say that I'm going to do something that goes a little bit against them, or even like a lot of Wiccans don't like doing banishing spells, whether it's just banish negativity, because certain words are fucking trigger words. And I'm like, motherfucker, please. Like, you really don't understand what Wicca is when all you're doing is throwing around the fucking Wiccan rede. Like, you really don't. And when you try and tell me, hello, hellbound...
I have my own Alex guy.
Well, when you tell me, hello, hellbound heathen, that you can't be a Wiccan without being a witch, you're just a fucking cunt. Like, you're a literal fucking idiotic, stupid piece of shit cunt. And I'm just like, no.
Adam got triggered.
Oh, I totally did. If you tell me you can't be something because you have to be something else to be that something, I'm going to come to your fucking house and put a shotgun in your goddamn ass and pull the fucking trigger and blow a new hole in you.
Oh my God.
Hey, that was actually on one of those, like, rape movie things where the girl got raped and she got revenge on them and stuff.
Yes, I see that movie. I know what you're talking
Stop.
about. It's called I See You on Your Grave.
Listen.
Okay, so Mira, we know not to talk to Adam about this because he's triggered.
He's triggered. I'm triggered. We're all triggered. We've just triggered the entire chat.
I don't
Now we have to make apology
I'm okay.
videos.
No, I don't know because okay, I will only make apology videos.
Shit,
Sunshine
man.
Morning
You guys
Brew,
go ahead and do your
Raven
crap. I'm
Flower,
not making apologies.
or Tequila get mad at me.
Listen.
I apologize for nothing.
Anybody who says, in order to be a witch, you have to be a Wiccan,
It's fucking.
or in order to be Wiccan, you have to be a witch, I can never take you seriously.
No,
If you say that to me, I'm just going to look at you and be like, do you want a cookie? Do you need a coloring book? Do you need me to put a countdown for you?
Really?
Do you want to take a nap?
Like, you
Out
don't.
of those bookish shadow coloring books, so you know.
Well, I have seen this so many fucking times. Like, when I first started this goddamn piece of shit YouTube thing, I ended up getting all these messages saying, oh, you're doing it wrong. You can't do it this way because Wicca says Wicca, Wicca, Wicca. And that's when I started making videos being like, hey, you little fuckers, your little Wicca hippy-dippy bullshit faggot-ass magic is nothing compared to what Wicca was pre-1970s. And I would get into fights with Hellbound Heathen over this. And I don't give a fuck if anybody is.
Has very strong viewpoints, and
I can't take that guy seriously.
I can't either because he's a fucking idiot.
You can't argue with them over this stuff because they're I forgot what the word is, but they won't be able to change.
They're armchair occultists. Now, I want to back up and say, and I need to say this to you people, like to everybody watching who's probably offended.
That's it.
Anyways,
Sorry,
let me finish. So there's nothing wrong with reading books, and there's nothing wrong with going down the Wiccan path. I always suggest new witches to go down the Wiccan path. I do suggest that they actually get their head out of their fucking ass and go down the fucking Buckland's path and do that book forward. Because you need to understand what true Wicca is, and Buckland's is the only one that gives you what true Wicca is. I mean, there's all their
opinion.
And kind of job of it too.
This ain't opinion anymore.
No, you fuck off, bitch. We have opinions. I am a fucking, I guess, book witch. It's legit in my name at this point.
Stephanie.
You shut up.
Stephanie. You know what you are? You're a woman, and you make 70 cents on the dollar. You know why? Because of shit opinions like that.
77 cents on the dollar, bitch.
What? Would you?
I make 77 cents on the dollar now, don't
Ooh,
I?
you're moving up. You're moving up to the white man's plane.
I know. I'm moving up there.
We've triggered everybody. Hello. Welcome to the chat. We are triggering people. It is our game. Hello. How are you?
And Mira's just sitting there being like, you know, I'm gonna stay out of this before Adam and have to make 50,000.
No, I just like I said.
I'm sorry videos.
I'm not fucking doing it. Yeah. I did not call anybody a cunt this video that didn't deserve it.
Anyway, it's called cognitive dissonance when you can't let go of something that you learned or something that you think in favor of new information. So
It's called being a
unfortunately,
dumb
people like Hellbound
bitch.
Heathen. What?
It's called being a dumb bitch.
It's literally
that too,
called
but,
being a dumb, fucking, idiotic bitch. Because I ran into these people before. I'm of the type on my channel that if I'm wrong, I want you to call me out on it and we can have a discussion about it. And in some cases, I may take down videos, make apology videos about it. But the point is that I am always willing to be wrong about something, but I do have very strong, opinionated, educated opinions on different topics. And Wicca is definitely one of them because I really think that what people are doing today with Wicca post-1970s is making it this Christian fucking bullshit.
They want you to have a radio show, Adam. Do you see
know.
this?
God.
I think you'd blow.
You need your own
if you had a
podcast.
show.
But
You should
it's
do your own podcast.
because think about it. This is the part that really pisses me off, that when you bring this up, everybody just fucking literally ignores it or changes the subject. Okay, I want you guys to think about this.
Dude, I have it in my brain. It's
Let me fucking say this, Stephanie.
Shut the fuck up, Adam.
No, let me say this.
You guys are making me snort over here. This is not funny. Come on now.
Cocaine random, because I want some. But no, let me finish this. Okay, so I'm gonna get a Red Bull, but I want you guys to think about something for a second. Christians are picking on Wiccans who are playing the fucking victim, but dare to have the motherfucking audacity to pick on witches. Think about that while I go get me a motherfucking Red Bull.
Stephanie, since you're late to the game, would you like to take the spotlight?
I don't know, man. I don't know. At this point, I think Adam's so fucking triggered that anything we say at this point is just like, here, let me throw gasoline on that fire because it sounds awesome.
Yes, please do.
Well, it's time to chug.
Fire.
It's time to chug. So Stephanie, let's hear it.
Chugs?
Let's antagonize him.
Okay, I couldn't hear you. It glitched.
Oh, antagonize him all you like.
Oh, that'd be awesome. No, I'm pretty sure I antagonized him. I mean, I get what he's saying. I understand it. You know, the whole Christian witch bullshit thing, or, you know, Christians period kind of thing. She's like legit talking to somebody else. Okay. No, anyway, so I understand where he's coming from. But, you know, it's like, you got to understand that some people, like, they can't get out of that mindset. They can't, it's hard for them to understand things from another person's point of view. It's hard for them to put themselves, I guess, in somebody else's shoes. So, you know, you have to, like, what the fuck is deep throat my cupcake? Fuck you, Alex guy. Fuck me, lick, I want to eat your dick.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. Wait. No, you know, you guys, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. I put Alex in timeout because this is inappropriate. And
what about Wicca and shit?
Yeah, I'm putting
everyone goes in timeout too.
Yeah, I put them in timeout too.
Listen, we're not here to listen to your guys' pop songs about pussies and ass. We're talking about real shit. So if you'd like to get back on topic in a few minutes, maybe we'll take you out of timeout.
I've blocked Wicca and shit, and I've put Alex in timeout. You know, we like to have fun, and we like to have some sass and some craziness, and, you know, I'm all for calling somebody a fucking dumb cunt when they're being a fucking dumb cunt, but we're not going to be fucking... Yeah, we're not going to be filling up. We're not going to be filling up our fucking chat with this bullshit pussy licking. You know, like, you guys really need to grow the fuck up. Like, we're here to have an actual conversation, and if
that's coming from Adam.
And if you can't have an actual goddamn conversation and ask appropriate questions, I'm just going to fucking block you because I'm not going to deal with this bullshit. So, and if you want to unsubscribe,
just let me
finish. Let me finish.
I don't want to let you finish because you're being a little bitch.
And if you're gonna unsubscribe me because I blocked you, well then get the fuck off my channel.
Adam, you have 711 viewers. Aren't you happy?
No.
Now it's 712.
Oh, kill me.
Oh, you bitch.
I know.
Fuck you.
He's fucking.
I'm up
Anyway,
to 270. I jumped.
I think
Okay,
I'm
let's get-
88. I don't know. 111 on my end.
I'm just happy with
So
all the
anyway-
commenters.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so like I was saying before that, you know, it's sometimes hard because of the cognitive dissonance, for people to understand things from your point of view. Pretty much at that point, all you can do is you can, you know, tell them, look, this is studied. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I can give you references. I can give you source material, everything that shows that, you know, what you're telling me is wrong and that you need to rethink what you're doing. So normally if you give people like reference material and stuff like that, they deal with it a lot better than if you just go, no, bitch, you're fucking wrong.
No, because I've gone to Hellbound Heathen with my fucking actual educated source material, and I said, look, this is what it says in the book, in the Buckland's book. This is what it says in the Scott Cunningham books. This is what it says in all of the books that I currently have and a lot of resource material that I see online. And you're still being a fucking prick about this. Like, I've gone to other, and it's not just him, but he's a good example. I've gone to other people that have tried to fucking call me out on this bullshit, and I'm like, no. I have actually been studying this for 10 years, reading books. I did not start casting my first spell until I started doing YouTube. There's a love attraction spell that I did on YouTube way, way back in the beginning. That was the very first spell I've ever actually casted. And to see these assholes, these pompous fucking pricks, think that, oh, because I read it somewhere in a book, it must be true. Let me tell you the difference between a bullshit fucking armchair occultist, which is somebody who just reads books, and a witch. We fucking practice our craft. Now, it is perfectly fine to be educated and to take your time to read and to, you know, learn. Do that. But also fucking practice your craft and keep an open-minded. I don't give a fuck if you come from a monotheistic religion like Christianity or whatever. It's not about, you know, I'm coming from worshiping God and now I'm going to go to worshiping Hecate. It's about realizing that you have to start to reprogram your brain to be open-minded to different aspects of the universe. Because I've seen people who have the fucking audacity to say, and I want to get into this subject now, the fucking audacity to say, I work with so-and-so God, or goddess, and you know that they do not, because everything they've discussed or described about that god or goddess comes from about.com or Wikipedia or some book they found online or whatever. So the question I have for you is, how do you treat people who come into this, whatever it is, Wicca, witchcraft, who try to their values and their bullshit on you, and then have the audacity to say they work with some god or goddess that you know would never fucking talk to this person in a million fucking years?
Stephanie, why don't you tell the people while I go take a pee?
Oh, are you taking a shit, Maria? Is that what you said?
No, she's doing number one, not number two. So,
No,
people
I'm
that are bullshitting you and trying to fucking lie to your ass, like, legit, I just tell them, look, you don't understand what you're working with, you don't understand what you're talking about, you know, you need to kind of, like, reevaluate where you are in your life because you're fucking with shit that you don't know about, you know? It's kind of like somebody that comes into, you know, witchcraft and they're like, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and they're like, and I'm gonna work with this person, and I'm like, you know, it doesn't work like that, you know, you have to actually, like, sit down or not sit down, but you have to like actually do the work and put the work into it. You know, you're not gonna just automatically connect with this goddess or god and, you know, become all powerful and all this weird shit. I don't know if I'm like going off on the wrong tangent.
No, that makes sense because a lot of people are pissed off that I kicked a bunch of people.
I know. I'm coming.
Why did you lose subscribers?
No, I haven't been watching chat, and I like we don't have any more comments going on, and I'm like, I kicked 2 people out of here, and I'm like, did the right thing.
Well, I mean, Witches and Shit and Alex Guy 611 are like the, main commenters, and they actually give us a lot of really good questions at the end. So that's why I was saying you might want to just kick them for
I'd like to bring up
minutes as like a, slap on the wrist for, please don't do that, and then let them back in, because I'm pretty sure that they were just teasing around and,
Stephanie, I am very much the type of person that if you fuck with me, you're done. We're done.
Well, I have something I want to talk about that was brought up in the chat.
No, you have to give them at least one warning.
Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me at all?
Hello.
Yes. We just keep talking
What
over
the fuck do you want, stupid bitch? You dumb cunt.
I want to talk about something that was brought up in the chat. I believe it was
apology.
I believe it was a Star Dancer 58 who was talking about that they believed in the rede, but the way they took it was do no harm but take no shit. To me, personally, and no offense, Star Dancer, but that kind of it cancels out each other.
I think it's bullshit, and I'll tell you why when you're done chatting.
But here's the thing. To me, the way I take that, the do no harm but take no shit is, dear God in heaven, what is Stephanie doing?
I don't know, but she's got a nice ass.
She's got a huge sword.
Stephanie, are you gonna fucking shove that sword through the screen and up my anus? Because I don't have enough loot for that thing.
Stephanie, you okay?
There's glass everywhere.
What did you do?
No. She just broke her light.
What a dumb bitch.
It's okay. Anyway, like what I was saying was the way I take the do no harm but take no shit, I would say that is more of a I won't go after you until you come after me, and then I'll take care of your ass. That's how I take that, which I can respect. But Stephanie, are you okay? What just happened?
I totally just I broke one of the light things.
And you did it on camera.
You did it on camera. We got to see the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I can vacuum my carpet again.
You dumb bitch.
Oh my God. I love your sword though. Your sword is badass. That looks like Cloud's sword.
Yeah, Cloud Buster.
Why are you looking at?
No,
why are you
that's
looking?
my Alex Guy 611.
But no, Jim. There is no striptease. I'm sorry. No.
Okay, so do you want to hear my rant on this whole concept of I'm not going to come after you, but do no harm, but take no shit?
Sure. Hopefully Star Dancer doesn't get offended, and if she does, she still loves you afterwards.
And if she does, well, there's an unsubscribe button for a reason. I have 712 of you fuckers. I don't mind losing a few of you.
Calm the hell down, dude.
So let me tell you what I think of this motherfucking bullshit concept. So when you say do no harm but take no shit, the first thing I actually think about is random witches, protection bubbles that deflect. And at first I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. You're doing no harm, but you're also taking no shit because you're deflecting it back to them. However, motherfuckers, this is what I think of it. When you say that you're going to take no shit, imagine me coming up to you and saying, I'm not going to punch you in the face for being a stupid fat fucking twat, but I am going to call you a stupid fat fucking twat. Now, I'm doing harm to you by calling you a stupid fat fucking twat. I mean, you're offended that I called you a stupid fat fucking twat. This is not actually directed at anybody, by the way, before anybody gets offended. So, I'm technically doing harm. So there is no concept of do no harm but take no shit, because at the end of the fucking day, anything you do hypothetically actually does harm. Whether it's putting a protection circle around somebody, whether it's, banishing them from your life, whether it's, you know, fucking making them see that they are a fraudulent little coloring book cunt who needs to get off the internet. Basically, anything you do, whether it's to yourself or to somebody else, is technically doing harm. And I want to discuss that conversation with Stephanie, because it's now your turn to talk.
What about the Wiccan or what the fuck? The take no do no harm but take no shit kind of deal?
Yes.
Like legit? Legit.
Yeah, I literally told you guys that it's bullshit.
I mean, it's kind of bullshit. I mean, the whole do no harm thing is very it's very open, but not at the same time. So basically, like, do no harm could just mean like you're not allowed to step on bugs. Which what the fuck are you doing?
Stephanie, Nature Jim would probably be printing it and not fucking writing it down by hand.
Well, fuck, if you print it on goddamn paper, that is gonna be the weirdest feeling on your ass in the world.
I want to try this, so give me about 20 minutes.
Do it.
Just kidding. Continue.
What the fuck? Where was I at?
We were talking about how do no harm.
Shit.
Okay, you talk. I have to pee.
Well, that was nice. I'm so glad to know when you guys need to pee.
Let's get on a different topic without him knowing.
So anyway, this whole like do no harm but take no shit kind of thing. Yeah, you're not supposed to take shit. I mean, I can understand that part of it. That's just like easy. That's just like everyday kind of shit, you know? It's like don't take shit from people. But I don't know, does it affect like everything you do? Like don't take any shit from like other pagans, don't take any shit from other Christians and stuff like that. If they like do anything against anything that you're for, you know, if they're like, well, you know, I think that all witches should die, you're supposed to not take any shit. So are you supposed to like fucking attack their asses on that or what? Can't do any harm, so you're kind of like stuck in a quandary.
Yeah, I think it's very canceling out of each other. That's why I don't. To me, it doesn't make sense. But again, I'm the person that follows cause and effect, and like I've never heard of anybody that actually follows that line of thinking in the witchy world. So I don't know. My thinking is kind of random.
Well, what's your cause and effect? You told us the story of your mother, but how does that translate into your own practice? I mean, let me just be.
Well, like I said.
Let me just be a bitch for a second, and let me just say,
sure.
You know, the thing that your mother went through, you know, if you constantly think, okay, if my mother cursed somebody and it comes back to her, and if I ever curse anybody, it's going to come back to me. I mean, like, you're kind of limiting yourself, don't you think?
The way I see it is this. To me, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the chance of I could curse myself because you, honey, I get what you're saying, but I was there. I saw how bad this curse affected my mom, and it literally cursed her life to this day. And she's the most miserable person I've ever known. And it's taken every friend and every lover and every family member that she's ever been attached to and literally cut her into a solitary existence of miserableness. And I feel bad for that. I feel bad for her. But I also think that I never want to get that way. I never want to. Listen, we learn from other people's mistakes as much as we learn from our own.
I don't learn from any of mine.
Well, then you're a dumb fuck.
No, you don't. That's why you have constant drama.
If you don't learn from your own mistakes, you're dumb.
But Mira, I have a question. Do you think that maybe your mom, like, maybe it did bounce back on her, and then maybe she kind of kept feeding it on accident? Because I've known some people that do shit like that. Like they'll curse somebody, and then it'll bounce back onto them or whatever. And then they keep feeding it because they're like, oh man, I've just been cursed, and then they kind of accidentally put their own energy towards their curse. So, you know, what do you think about that?
I think that very well could happen to anybody and myself. That's why I don't take that chance, because I have decided that my path is the one that myself and my goddess chooses. I can choose my own path, and I chose a very long time ago. I still don't feel if I ever felt that it was necessary of malediction or to enter that into my own path.
I'm going to make it literally must be a part of your path. I'm going to piss
No.
you to the point where you fucking like mutilate a cat thinking about me and my brains explode.
Well, you can try, honey, but I'm just going to sit back and laugh. That's just how I am. I have come to the realization, and I've learned that there's not a necessity for me to do that in my life. I control as much as I can my own life. My goddess controls my path as well. And the way I see it is I've said this before, and I won't get into how deeply it was, but I was so betrayed by my own mother and so betrayed, by an ex of mine that, it was the darkest parts of my life. I was physically attacked. I was physically hurt. I was mentally scarred. I was emotionally abused. I was physically abused. There was abuse that I could not go into this conversation with you both. And if anybody has the right to curse somebody, it's me. I have every right to curse those people that did those things to me.
I think
I could very well do that without batting an eye. And what would it do for me?
Make you feel better?
Well,
no, it wouldn't make me feel better.
Them? Have you ever thought of maybe like a karma spell, like a speed up karma spell?
Well, no, because see, I understand where she's coming from, because Lady Gravedancer did a video called Why I Had an Exorcism, and she stated that, she was kind of in a similar situation that Random was in, but she decided to go down the whole negative, will you just ban everyone? Alex, if you're being a fucking idiot like you were before, then yes, I will. But anyways, so she went down the whole negative path and like cursing everybody and hexing everybody, and ended up getting some negative entities attached to her that required her to have an exorcism. So I can totally understand where you're coming from, because when you have that much anger, that much pain, and that much emotional damage, you could manifest a lot of...
You could manifest something truly evil.
Yeah, and I've managed to manifest not something truly evil, but I've managed to manifest, some really dark shit. Like the guy who threatened me. I mean, for fuck's sake, I practically ruined his life, and I put so much anger and so much misery in that. I've made, people see how much of a fraudulent little whore they are, to the point where they're fucking running around crying about how their life sucks and they just want to kill themselves. And I'm just like, when we put... when we, as damaged and broken people that we are, put that damaged and broken energy into cursing somebody, we can do a lot more harm than somebody who's had the cushy life, somebody who's had the perfect life, but just wants to curse that fucking flower cunt down the street because she pissed on someone's lawn. We have so much power to us that if we don't know what we're doing, then it can be really detrimental.
Wicca and shit just sent an apology comment onto one of my videos.
Well, he's unblocked.
So yeah.
Hey, what?
He just sent an apology comment. He said, "I'd just like to apologize for my behavior in the chat," and then he went through a whole thing. But anyway, back to, it's fine, Wicca and shit. You're fine. Here's the deal. I completely agree with you, Adam, that I've told you before that there is true rage and true anger inside of me that stems from those things.
Yes.
And that's why I don't cross that line, because I do believe I would overcross that line. I would go too far.
And I personally, and then this can make me sound like a really horrible fucking person, but if I was to curse Derry, like if I was to actually curse Derry, I would curse her so far into the ground that she would be dead tomorrow. Like, that's how much anger I have.
And you know that that's wrong.
Exactly, but that's why I just said...
You know that that's too far.
I do, but I mean, at the end of the day, I do it without a hesitation.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's your choice whether you do or not, and that teaches you who you are. To know that, listen, it's like this. A lot of people own guns, but a lot of people don't go around shooting people they hate. And that's what you have to think about witchcraft, cursing, and hexing and malediction about. You have to understand that you have to be responsible with this. It could very well destroy someone in their life, their livelihood, and you could go too far. And that's why I always say, please, you know, if you're going to do something like that, try something else first. Try defensive spells, try self-healing, self-protection. And if you're in a state to where you could cross that line, I would say don't step over that line, because it could truly, I mean, if a witch like Tequila could be possessed by a dark entity, all of us could. So what real reason is there to do that and cross that line?
The bitch are real.
Really think about it, people. Do
Oh,
you really want to be the badassery, or do you want to be a person that can help yourself grow without going through those
there's a difference.
those horrible transitions and those horrible transformations?
See, there's a thing here that I think a lot of people see witches like Tequila, Ember Honey Raven, Cat W Magic, maybe even myself, and they're like, motherfucker, please, you know, this is badass witch. I want to be like them. And you have to realize that, you know, we are not fucking going around cursing everybody and fucking crossing lines and blowing shit up. You know, 9 times out of 10. In fact, this entire last week, all of my magic has been in a fire water that I'm working on, 2 different oils, and like and this is where we're going to transgress into this new topic, is about always going to your altar and always doing spells. Now, I'm always at my altar, but I'm not always casting new spells and new rituals and new workings. 9 times out of 10, I'm working shit that I've already got going on in progress. And I think a lot of new witches in this community come in and they're like, oh, I got to be casting a spell every day at my altar. I've got to be, you know, masturbating to my God every day. And it's like, you don't really need to be doing everything every day. You know, just, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that I just went over this in one of my videos called Seasons of the Craft. I'd really like your opinion on it, Adam. I talk about there are seasons to things where you don't always have to be working. That times of rest in your craft are actually healthy for you. And I think that I don't go to my altar every day and work crafting, and I don't do meditation every day, and I don't do this, and I don't do that every single day, because I feel that it would take too much energy out of me. And I like to hold on to this energy to use for things that are important. I'm never one to give excess to anything. I'm always careful about when to use my magic and when not to use my magic. And it's not me thinking, well, I don't want to give this paltry little thing my energy. It is, when I give my energy to something, it is fully given. It is never half-assed.
Oh, no, I agree. However, what I do, like for me, for instance, I'm always at my altar. Like, I could be playing a video game and waiting for a queue to happen so that me and a bunch of people can go run a dungeon. And while I'm waiting for that queue, I might be at the altar putting some of my intentions into an oil or whatever it is that I've got going on. And it's really important for people to realize that, you know, I'm not always at my altar casting a spell, hexing someone.
Well, I think that's just people's opinions of witches are, we are always witching. We're not always witching.
Actually, we
quit
are
thinking that.
Witching. We're not always witching in the concept of, you know, making a new spell or whatever. But if you really think about it, we all are always witching. You light an incense and you're witching. You fucking make a loose leaf incense just because you want a nice fragrance throughout your house, or you want to add a little protective or cleansing or whatever. And you are always witching. And Stephanie, you need to start talking in the fucking Google Hangout and get the fuck out of the chat. And I will tell people.
Well, that's because you fucking keep talking over me, goddamn bitch.
I will. You know what?
There are some questions.
Kill yourself.
There are some questions. There are some questions in the chat.
Questions. I've just not been doing it vocally. So you guys are talking about people that go to their altars all the time, or what the hell?
We're talking about people who assume that witches always go to their altar and are always working magical spells. And I'm telling you that I personally don't. I have a lot of things that I'm constantly feeding. I think it's very important to be feeding your spells instead of just creating new ones. I'm always, like, with oils, I'm currently working with an oil where I'm adding little things to it all the time. Another oil, you know, I'm putting my energies and intentions into. I've got a fire water I'm working with, and, you know, I've got just a couple other things. And who the fuck is telling me to chill out on the Red Bull? I will cut you. I will cut you.
I understand what you're talking about on that, and no, witches don't always go to their altars for things. I have a money spell that I do. It involves like a teacup and 3 coins, and I work with fairy spirits like that. I also have a witch bottle thing that I've been working on for a while now, because I keep going back to it and putting my intentions back into it, and I'm gonna bury that one day. I'll remember. Yeah, no. But I mean, a lot of times I'm just witching if I'm just walking around outside barefoot or something like that, you know. It's like anytime, I mean, I guess I'm not consciously being a witch, but you're still a witch even when you're not like shit.
Exactly. Like today, for instance, I was cleaning my house, and when I clean my house, I sage my place and I burn incense. And after I'm done saging, I go and vacuum the place up. And like, that is a form of witching. In fact, cleaning your house as a witch is a form of witching, because without
cleansing.
Yeah, and you're pushing out negative energies.
Can I answer a couple of questions from the chat?
I didn't even know we had questions.
Well, somebody asked me a question. Mira, have you done anything to work through the rage you hold within, magically or mundanely? Yes, I have. That's why you see that I am ever so chill. I don't dip into that rage anymore. I used to dip into it a lot. I still have rage problems, but I've worked within myself to become the chill ice queen you see before you.
You're not an ice queen.
Oh,
no.
I am.
She's an ice queen.
I'm gonna use these.
I am rather than working to further my rage, I work to be chill and to be calm, and I'm always in a state of working on myself and furthering my own growth and furthering my own healing. So yes, I do at all times.
Oh, what you are.
Also, there's somebody who is asking about spearmint, healing properties of spearmint.
So that's actually what I was looking up. I love my books. So let's see. Blah, 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 blah,
Stephanie's a book witch. Can't trust a book witch. Book witches don't practice.
Nobody loves you.
Rude. This is my show, you fucking cunt.
Let's see. It's comfortable for the head and memory by smelling it.
My face is comfortable for your head and memory.
Used to gargle, cures the mouth and gums when sore. If you get sores on your head, make a wash of it. Mix it with vinegar to get rid of scurf, whatever the fuck scurf is. It's got a whole bunch of shit. It's good for like facial tonics. It's good for oily hair, chapped skin, internally for nausea, headaches, indigestion, cold, flu, hiccups, flatulence, or insomnia. Can be used to relieve heavy colds, drops the essential oils. You fucking bitch.
I want to read.
It also helps with digestion.
Well, I also want to read something here really quickly. So the magical uses for spearmint is that its planetary association is Venus, its element is air, its deity association is Pluto, its astrological associations are Gemini and Leo. Its magical uses for healing, love, protection while sleeping, burn for healing magic, especially for respiratory conditions, carry for healing, use in ritual baths to strengthen vitality, write a wish on paper and wrap it in spearmint leaves, place in red cloth and sew with red thread, then keep safe in secret place, so on and so forth. Like, there's so many fucking magical uses for this, but I just want to let people know that before you put this shit on your skin, in your mouth, up your ass, on your penis, whatever, just fucking make sure that you do your goddamn medical research.
Yeah, make sure that you're not pregnant or something, because it's bad to use excuse me, it's bad to use herbal teas while pregnant. Some of them. You can use some of them, but you can't use some of them, so watch out. And
Alex
there's all types of things.
611
Mm-hmm.
said, do some people use magic for coping for their issues? Let's just go do witchy stuff when they're depressed. That's called shadow work.
Yeah, shadow work is actually important to people.
And I have a whole series coming up on that.
Yeah. Listen.
What the fuck are you doing, Stephanie?
Nothing.
Listen, okay. People have all kinds of mental disorders. And in order to work within themselves, yes, they do have to do path work. Yes, they do have to take care of themselves magically as well as mundanely. They have to do the work and try to make themselves better in any way possible. It's just like people who go to the doctor and yet they still pray for their selves to heal faster. It's just like that. Only you work with times in your life that you were hurt. You work with healing those times, healing those mental and emotional scars. So yes, I personally do it. I know Adam does it. I don't know about Stephanie.
Stephanie doesn't.
No, Stephanie's a bitch. Stephanie, she takes all her rage and anger and she throws it into the spell. But you know, for me, it's never like you guys were talking about it earlier, and I didn't even pipe up. But kind of like for me, I throw it all in there, and then I don't let it bounce back because I let it go at that point.
Well, that's
that way. It's not a part of me anymore. It's just kind of like. I use all the rage and pain, and I put it in the spell, and I do what I have to do, and then I just let it go because
that's what I do with my curses and stuff. Is that I will put all of that energy, all of that hatred towards that one person into the curse, and then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's done, it's dealt with. You are fucked, literally up the ass without any lube. So you know, like I'm just not going to deal with it anymore. And Star Dancer said, you know, shadow work is a continuous process. And this is what I say in my shadow work videos, is that this isn't a series that I'm going to do, or this isn't something you can do in a week. This isn't something you can do overnight. This isn't something that you can do in a month. This takes years and years of work, and just, it's lifelong. It never ends. If you think, oh, I did the shadow work last week, I'm really good, I'm all healed, motherfucker, please, you are some fake ass motherfucking piece of shit who needs to get the fuck off my channel right now.
You're gonna get knocked on your butt if you think that that's true, because there's so many times where like I was in a really big, and I still do it from time to time, but I was in a really big journeying phase when I was starting my path working, and it helped me to get to the root of the trauma of a lot of the things that I work with, a lot of things that I'm dealing with myself. And I did come to realize that, you know, either I can let this rule me, or I can get to the root of this trauma, go through it and actually process it instead of being in shell shock, process it, accept that it happened, accept that I let it happen, and then feel what I needed to feel, go through the pain of it, go through healing, because it's just like healing a broken bone. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes, you know, you have to be careful with this certain thing, you have to be ginger with it at first, and then you have to start strengthening it, and you have to work that. After you get a cast off, it takes you a while to get back on your feet because you have to relearn how to walk. It's the same thing with your spiritual self. It's the same thing with emotional stress, scars, and trauma. You have to work through it, and you have to make yourself feel stronger by it. And you have to go through something that could be almost like it. And you have to, like if you were hurt by a lover, you would have to love again in order to test your strength of will and your strength of love and your strength of heart. And that's hard. And self-healing can be some of the hardest shit a witch has to do.
Oh, it
And
definitely
it's
is.
some of the most complicated process a witch has to do. So I think it's a true calling. And it's a wonderful thing to learn about. If I were to say to anybody, what should I learn about in the magical world? I've been in the magical world for a few years now. I would say look at pathworking, look at journeying, because you are going to open up an entire new world for yourself.
Well, it's not even just that. It's that people also need to realize that this isn't something you can do in 5 minutes. If you think that you can cast, and I really want the fucking, because this is another trigger subject for me, and I got one more trigger subject after this one, but this is a trigger subject for me.
Oh my
If
God.
people fucking tell me, oh, you know, I can cast a spell to make it all go away and everything's gonna be perfect and life is gonna be grand. Or those people that go on those fucking Facebook groups and they're like, oh, you know, my uncle touched me and now I've got all these demons and malevolent beings attached to me and I just want a spell to make it all go away and just forget about it, move on with my life. Motherfucker, please. It does not work that way, and it just sickens me and disgusts me to my very fucking core foundation of a human being when you think that you can take a really traumatic incident or even something as light as, you know, your boyfriend breaking up with you because you cheated on him. It doesn't matter the complexity of the strengthness. If you think a fucking magic spell, because, you know, with shadow work, we do the magic work, but if you think a magic fucking spell is going to fix this fucking issue, you are dead motherfucking wrong. See, with the series that I've got going on, there is an entire... I say we're going to do the magic, but at this point, we don't do fucking anything for many, 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 many episodes because we need to get to the root cause of why I'm doing this and whatever else. And I'm sharing that with you guys so that you can see what true shadow work is. It's not about casting fucking spells and lighting candles and masturbating to your god to make, you know, Uncle fucking Ted go away and stop touching you at night. It's about getting to the root cause, realizing what it is. And sometimes, you know, shadow work does involve sometimes involving therapists and stuff like that. You know, it's not just a magical experience. And when people get pissed off at me because I say, you know, there are times when magic can't help you, and they're like, well, if you can't witch through it, motherfucker, please. There are times.
Oh, I hate that.
I know, it fucking pisses me off. It makes me want to fucking stab a bitch. When you tell me, if you can't witch through it, then what kind of witch are you? It's like, motherfucker, please. There are times where you cannot motherfucking witch through something. You need to deal with it on a human level.
Yeah.
True. You need to learn how to human again.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck yeah.
People are so
I
fucking
actually made a video on that. It's gonna come up next month, but it's getting started, my getting started series. But yeah, no, it's basically exactly what you said. You know, there are times that you really should not witch through it. You need to work through it as, you know, on the mundane, not, you know, I'm gonna do a spell to get rid of that, you know, just exactly what you said.
When people think magic can fucking cure this situation. But I want to throw in the last trigger subject for me that really triggers the fuck out of me. It is when people, well, there's actually a few in here. So there's one when people say, you know, blessed be, like, fucking stop saying that, you pieces of
I
shit.
say that. Go fuck yourself. I say that all the time.
So the issue I have with blessed be is when stupid fucking idiots use it as a passive-aggressive way of saying, you know, I don't really want to deal with this conversation anymore, so blessed be.
Oh.
You know, I disagree with you, but blessed be.
Kind of like, you know, I don't want to deal with your shit, so bye. It's kind of like saying bless
Exactly.
your heart.
No, that's like the old Southern way of saying, oh, bless your heart.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly
yeah, but
that.
Bless your heart could be multiple things. You know, bless your heart could be like, I don't want to fucking talk about this anymore, or bless your heart could mean you're a fucking idiot, or bless your heart could actually mean bless your
what I'm saying
heart
is that I don't know, Stephanie, what you're not understanding is that people are using this fucking bullshit as a fucking passive-aggressive way of not wanting to deal with shit. If I call you out, if I call you out on your bullshit and you're all like, oh, well, you know, blah, 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 blessed be, it's like, you stupid fucking twat, you really don't get it, do you?
No, they don't. That's why they're dumb.
So.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, it's kind of like that Christian thing where you're fighting Bible verse with Bible verse, and they finally just go, you know,
who the fuck does that?
You know, bless you, God bless you, or something like that, kind of to end the conversation.
Stephanie, nobody fights Bible verse with Bible verse.
Yeah, I've actually seen people do that. I don't know what fucking chats you're on.
What the fuck kind of chats are you on?
I like fighting people who say that people who are gay are abominations with the, hey, are you wearing polyester? Good luck in hell, bitch.
I know, or did you eat shellfish in the last, your entire life?
That's what I like doing.
You guys, gay people are a fucking abomination. Have you met me?
You are not.
Hey, come on now. What's the next trigger, okay? Tell me. Tell me, give me your next trigger.
So we can get over this shit.
Hey.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to totally hijack this real quick.
Okay.
Guys,
Sure.
I have 91 subscribers right now. If I get 90 more subscribers, I have a giveaway for you guys.
Girl.
Stephanie, I'm going to hijack this for a second. I have 712 subscribers, so you can go fuck yourself.
Listen, everybody needs to do a dance in the chat.
So fuck you. You guys should come to me. I do giveaways. Like, legit, I will make you a mojo bag with whatever stone you want, with whatever herb you want, and whatever, like, I'll make you your own personal blessing or something. I don't know.
And if you come to my channel, I'm not going to give you shit.
That is
but you like it.
I fucking hate people who do fucking giveaways. It's like, motherfucker, please.
Oh, come on, Adam. You know you want some
You know what? I tried to do a giveaway back in the day, and the people that won it didn't even get in contact with me. So I was like, fine, I'll keep this shit. Fuck you too.
Well, legit, like, if somebody else wins it and they won't contact me, one of you bitches will get it.
Ooh, that's what I like. Give me that free shit. I need it.
Give me that free shit. Give me that free shit. Give me that free shit. Yeah. Anyways,
popping tags at the thrift store. What?
The fuck? So my other trigger thing, and I've got a lot of trigger things. I want to talk to you guys, and I want Stephanie's opinion on this, and I know I've talked to you about this, Random Witch. When stupid motherfucking bitches, when stupid motherfucking twats show their motherfucking book of shadows, it pisses me off. It's like, oh my God, you're doing it wrong. Like, you're not doing it wrong, but you're doing it wrong. You know?
Like,
go fuck yourself.
Glitching out on me because you're so angry. I think my phone's just like, nope, fuck this shit. You're not listening to any of that.
He's talking about the Book of Shadows and why people actually show their Book of Shadows, and then they show their spells. Me and him already had a conversation about this.
We did, and it pisses me off. Like, I don't understand why people think it's so cool to show off their Book of Shadows. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Don't worry, I already schooled him on this, but please, go ahead, Stephanie.
You didn't school me on shit. You gave me some half-assed excuse of an answer.
No, I didn't. I schooled your ass.
Oh,
don't lie. Don't lie to the people. Don't try to lie.
I've been wondering what's going on in chat because
Okay. Adam, do you want my fucking opinion, or do you want to just keep like screeching at the top of your lungs?
I want to screech.
Well, alrighty then. Lovely.
Okay, give your opinion.
Are you sure? Are you done?
Yes,
yet? Do it one more time. Just get it out of your system.
I'm ordering sushi, so I can not pay attention to you while I order sushi.
What the fuck, bitch? You want my opinion, but you're not going to pay attention. So
Exactly. Somebody else will pay attention.
No.
Oh, you guys, we have 20 viewers right now. 20.
Yeah, I saw that. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Chris is still
anyways,
like,
Stephanie, give your opinion.
that is awesome. Never mind. Anyway, so, what the fuck? I mean, I just remember him screeching, and I kind of brain fart.
We're talking about
Book of Shadows.
We're talking about how fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, showing off your Book of Shadows and all that bullshit. Okay, so I have a differing opinion than Adam on this. Now,
you dumb bitch.
If it's your own personal workings, shut up. If it's your own personal workings, like you've made the spells yourself, I don't think you should show those off.
Yes.
If it's your coven's workings, I don't think you should show that off.
Yes.
Now, if you found this shit on the internet, you can fucking show it off. If it's all basic shit,
that's another trigger for me. We're gonna be fucking here all night with these triggers, y'all.
I can't be here all night. I gotta get off in like 15 minutes. You got me for another 15 minutes, bitch.
That's fine. I got Stephanie.
So anyway. No, you don't. Stephanie's battery's dying on her phone because her brother stole her charger.
Well, her brother's an asshole.
You're right. It's not nice.
He is, but we love him anyway.
Dummy heads. Poopy faces.
So anyway, basically to me, it's like I think you can show your book. I show my Book of Shadows off, but it's not a Book of Shadows because a Book of Shadows is something you work in, it's something you write in all the time. And for me, I only show off like basic stuff, like elements or holidays or things like that. You know, basic shit. You can literally find all that crap on the internet. You know, I'm like, this is what Samhain is, and here's the days, and here's the elements, and here's the history behind it. And you can fucking find that shit on the internet. It's not like hard. So for me, it's not something that's like, you know, secret, sacred, whatever, you know, that I have to hide it, you know? So, I mean, shit like that, yeah. Now, I don't ever show anybody, like, my spells and stuff. I don't go, hey, look, here's the spells I made, you know, that are totally unique, and I've never, you know, I've never even found anything like this on the internet or in any other books, so, you know, totally steal my ideas or something, you know? I don't do that. Go.
When you are looking at a person's book of shadows, and you see that they have like a different, like something you couldn't find on the internet, something you couldn't find in the books, and you find that they had an experience with something, and it's different from your own experience. Do you find it interesting? Do you find it too personal? Do you find it aggravating, like Adam? I mean, personally myself, I like seeing other people's interpretations. What are you doing?
Telling yourself?
My moon tarot, like, throwing stars.
Disrespect.
And people wonder why you're not a real witch.
Oh, I know. I'm a fake witch, man. Don't you know it? I've only been doing this for like 10 plus years, whatever, you know? I'm totally a fake witch.
You are.
Just like Adam.
I know.
We're both fakers. We're just liars.
I've got 13 years. Blessed
You're good,
13.
Man. We get
Blessed
you.
13. I enjoy it.
You actually don't color in my books, so you can shut up. Love you, Nature Jim.
Nature Jim is a...
I draw and color, but not like a coloring book. Like I do illustrations.
Yeah, you make art in it, you know, like if you're doing fire, you're gonna, you know, color everything with reds and, you know, yellows and shit.
Guess what, Adam? You should like this a lot.
What?
Are you ready? I'm going to do another Book of Shadows showing in a few weeks, probably next week. Just for you, Adam. I'm going to tag you in it and everything.
You're a stupid fucking twat. But so the issues I have with this isn't so much about people showing off their book. It's about people being like, oh, look at this spell for love spells, or like, look at, like, it's the same fucking bullshit that everybody's copied off the fucking internet by now. And everybody's so concerned with, you know, oh, this has to be in your book, or this has to be here. It's like, you have to have this. It's like, you stupid fucking little cunts. You really don't understand what Book of Shadows is for, do you?
Well, there's a different, okay, let me ask you this. I personally think a grimoire or a grimory, and I can say it however the fuck I want to say it.
You stupid bitch.
No, I can. You know what, Adam? You have me on this chat. You're gonna hear me out. God damn it.
You wanna, like,
I think that technically, fuck you too. I think a grimoire, or however you want to say it. I think the stuff that has the information. I have no problem with watching people's grimoires. It's whenever they're showing like their personal spells that I'm like, man, I don't know if you really want to be showing that. I don't know if that's a good idea, and you know, maybe you want to skip that part. You know what I mean? That's too personal. I don't think that should be shown. Do I think that I can tell a person what to do? No, I don't. Everybody's path is their own, but I think that there are certain things in the path that you have to keep with yourself. There's a reason that there says to be silent is a reason. You have to keep some things to yourselves, and you have to learn that and keep it and cherish it. And Stephanie, you're a weirdo. And
He's a dumb cunt.
That's how I feel about it. Anyway, what are you doing over there? My man is doing a striptease for me. I'm definitely not going to show that. Boy.
What the hell is wrong with this person that you are dating?
I am dating the best person that likes to show me their nipples.
Ew! Kill them!
No, I'll bite them.
You're disgusting.
Ow!
Oh,
Okay.
baby.
No,
Shake
I'm
it.
just gonna make a comment. Somebody said we're the new dairy. I mean, think about it. You said she's a 30+ witch, of years in witchcraft. Well, each of us has about 10, so therefore, all together, we're the new dairy.
Okay, except here's the difference between me or us and that fucking dumb little skin.
It was a joke, not a cock.
I know, but I really want to comment on it anyways, is that we don't play no fucking victim. So the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, the last trigger thing, is this concept of color magic. So like, I'm a white witch, or I'm a white lighter. I don't know, I've heard that a few times. Or like, I'm a gray witch, or I'm a green witch. It's like, no, you stupid fucking little twat. You are not a color magician. You are a fucking witch. It doesn't matter what color of magic you do or what kind of fucking bullshit you do. You are not any color of magic, you stupid twat. You guys can chat amongst yourselves.
Chat amongst ourselves. Adam just went like completely friggin' ballistic. So
Thank you, Rowan Amethyst and Illusioniste.
Who?
Basically, Adam has like a shit ton of triggers, and we just need to like.
No, I have opinions that fucking piss me off when people are stupid and idiotic.
He's been triggered. Trigger.
I'm gonna trigger the face up my ass.
Calm down, Adam. Do deep breathing.
Okay, so here's
exercises.
what I say about the whole color thing. The white witch and the gray witch and the dark witch or the black witch. I think that's very preschooler.
Yes.
Personally, myself, I think it's an immature look at witchcraft. I think most witchcraft is very neutral. And I think that if you're just doing witchcraft, you're doing witchcraft. You're manipulating energies, and I think that most witchcraft is a neutral-based event, is a neutral-based energy. And people who say, or, you want to be a rainbow witch. If you want to be colorful, be colorful. Do you, boo-boo, but I mean, you're a witch. I don't get what people say when they say, I'm a rainbow witch. Does that mean you're a gay witch? I don't understand what you're saying. Does that mean you're in your little booty shorts running around saying, I'm a witch? I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. What the fuck does that mean? All I know is that you're a witch.
Let me just say this for the record. It is of my opinion that people who have the audacity to go and try and fucking be something that they're not, that they're so evidently clearly not, is pathetic. Like, to try and label yourself as something, whether, like, if you're a witch, okay, you're a fucking witch. You are not a gray witch. You are not a white witch. You are not a black witch. I mean, are you African? You're white. You're a white man calling yourself a black witch? Like, come on, bitch. You're nothing. You're scum on the bottom of my fucking shoe when you say I am a color, whatever the color is, witch. No, you are a witch. Okay? Plain and simple.
Water witch.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, Lady of the Rose.
Or a muddy little swamp witch, as somebody called me.
And I don't know what you're talking about, Illusioniste.
People are being fucking idiots now. And I'm just like, you people need to shut the fuck up.
I just don't get it. I don't get what people are so into fucking labels. They're so into labels. Why box yourself in with a label?
It disgusts
Okay, now, I actually do have an opinion on this. Shut up, Adam.
What the fuck, you dumb cunt?
You're a dumb cunt. Shut the fuck up.
You don't
so I actually
shut the fuck up.
So I actually do have an opinion on this, on the label things, because I can understand where people are coming from when they need to say labels. Like Adam doesn't like it when you say that he practices, some form of Christianity witchcraft. It drives him crazy. He's actually an eclectic witch. but he doesn't like that either because he doesn't like being put in a box. But if you tell people, yeah, I practice some Christianity-based witchcraft, but I'm mostly an eclectic witch, it kind of tells them where you're coming from, what you practice. And for me, labels are kind of what you give yourself or what you give others, so you can have like conversations with people, you know where they're coming from, you know like where they're going, kind of thing. Like I say that I am an eclectic pagan witch that is doing that's recently started into sigil magic and VVs, and people know where I've been, they know where I'm going, and they know what, you know, like kind of where to start out with in talking to each other. So I think labels are helpful. I understand that it's not good to box yourself in, which is why my label constantly changes, but you know, it's still good to have it in the first place, because then you can actually like you get where people are from and you know everything. So I mean, I think it's a good thing on the one hand, but I understand how it's a bad thing on the other.
I think the whole concept of calling yourself some sort of fucking witch, like colored witch, or like even calling like somebody an eclectic witch, I even think that's kind of stupid. I think the whole concept of labels on the fact that you're a witch is just trying to put yourself into some very specific box that people accept and understand. And I think when people realize at the end of the day that you are just a witch, you are not an eclectic witch, you are not a black witch, you are not a gray witch, you are not a fucking pagan witch, you're not a Wiccan witch, you are just a witch.
Well, that's okay. To disagree with your point, Adam.
But witch is a label too.
Well, no, but
no. But listen, you call yourself a folk magician. I call myself an eclectic. Stephanie calls herself a book witch. We all want to explain, like Stephanie said, we all want to explain what type of witch we are, and yet we proceed out of those boundaries, outside of that box of eclectic, outside of that box of folk magician, outside of that box of book witch, so that people get the main point of what we are about. I believe that is why people do labels. That's why people do LGBT labels.
The concept of like those stupid people you get where it's like when you start a Facebook conversation with somebody and you're like, I practice cursing, okay? And somebody else is like, oh, well, you know, I practice healing and cursing, but, you know, I'm more of on the line, so I'm a gray witch. Motherfucker, please. That kind of shit pisses me off. Like, I fucking hate it when you get some little old fucking skank lady on Facebook, in Facebook groups that are like, yeah, I'm a gray witch. No, you're not a gray witch. You're a fucking witch. Like, what is a gray witch?
Well,
let's say you can do like negative magic, but you also do a lot of like healing magic, things like that.
Well, then I guess I'm a fucking gray witch then. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Maybe people, here's a thing. Here's a thought. Here's a thought forming, okay?
Yeah,
maybe people think giving it a name gives it more power.
It doesn't.
And we've already talked about names have powers.
Well,
labels then could give them a sense of power to themselves. I mean, like we said, we don't understand it, therefore we don't fucking care about it. But other people might care about it. Other people might be like, if I'm going to call myself a shaman, it's because I do shamanic things. If I call myself a fucking voodoo practitioner, it's because I do voodoo. You know, we call ourselves witches because we do witching. You know what I mean? But the thing is, we ourselves think that the color scale to witching is rather useless.
It is.
That's what we think.
No, it's truth. It's literally truth. I know that it's like the hardest thing for people to accept, but this concept of color witching is literally the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in this pagan community. And I've never even seen it. And I've been around it since the 90s. So like, where is this concept of specific labeling of what type of witch you are coming from? Like, it never came from anywhere until the internet came about.
Then here it is. Somebody just said something. I think Lady of the Rose just said something about it puts you above other people. Like if you're gonna.
Sometimes they use labels to put themselves above other people.
Yeah.
But it actually had that one girl that was in my group, the one that I was complaining about all the time to you guys. She was saying that she's a hereditary witch, that her dad was a warlock, and she only did that because she didn't know shit, and we were all like more experienced than her. We had more years on her in practice. And so she wanted to make herself cool. She wanted to make herself seem like, you know, she's the bee's knees. She's the best shit since like sliced goddamn bread. And, you know, it pisses me off when people do shit like that. I understand where you're coming from. But I mean, you know, we got it figured out after like a month of me like dragging my feet, not wanting to talk to her about her fucking crazy ass shit, you know?
And that we come back to the fact of,
you need a label.
Yeah, I mean, for Famo the Hun Tempest, I can't say your name, honey, but I kind of agree with you. She says people process information by placing that information into categories, labels, and part of the categorizing process is basic psychology. I agree with you, and I do agree with the fact that that's what I'm saying. Stop it. I'm agreeing with you. Stop yelling at me.
I know you're agreeing with me.
What I'm saying is,
he's the one I'm like yelling at.
What I'm saying is that for some people, it's their truth. Like Adam, it's your truth that it's bullshit. Well, it's their truth that it's important to them. So we all have different things of opinions. But the thing is, everybody does their own shit. We can't tell anybody how the fuck to do their shit because that's their shit. But the thing is, we find it very useless to call yourself a colored witch because it's just, we understand the workings of magic because it is all pretty much neutral. It's all very commingled together. The good and the bad, it's yin and yang. The good is in the bad is in the good. There's no getting away from that. There's only darkness because there is light. So we understand that. That's why we find it useless. That's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave you with that. There you go.
Okay. Well, I've got a counter. Okay. I've got a counter to that. This concept.
I've got 20% left, so you probably have 15 minutes before my battery dies.
This concept.
Keep going, bitch. Faster. Speed it up.
Of people. This concept of people putting shit like in labels and boxes, it makes sense, I guess, from some aspect or some fucking bullshit piece of wannabe fakery. But people today are just doing this for attention. It's as simple as that. When you say I'm a 30-year seasoned rainbow witch who colors in my book of shadows, you're just in a fucking attention little cunt. Okay, it's as simple as that. When you tell me that you're some 50-fucking-year-old woman sitting in her house who's a gray witch, you should know by the time you're 50-fucking-years-old that you're not just some fucking gray witch. You are an old crone. You are a witch. You are not some fucking colorful little piece of, you're not something to fuck with is what I'm getting at. There is no concept of this fucking color and title thing. Like, there's no such thing as a folk magician. I'm just a magician. There's no such thing as a warlock. You're just a fucking witch. Now, if you want to identify by that, then go right ahead. But you also have to realize that this is a childish, stupid thing that you're just doing for attention. When I say I'm a folk magician, it makes people realize, okay, you work with folk magic and you are a male witch, so you're a magician. Okay, that makes sense. But when you say you're a gray witch, like, okay, I kind of get the idea that you work with both black and white magic, but like, a lot of people in the community are putting these fucking labels on themselves because they're just doing it for attention. They want to.
Yes, they are, but it does help you understand where people are coming from. Now, I have to say that people that say that they're warlocks are going out for attention because warlock means you're an oath breaker, means you've done something bad and that you got kicked out of your community. Nobody's going to want to be known as a fucking warlock. They're just going to say, I'm a witch or I'm a magician or whatever. They're not going to say, oh, by the way, I'm a fucking warlock.
Who's back?
You guys both went offline for about 10 seconds.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I've always been here.
I don't know. She, hers popped
Oh,
up,
it must have been my stuff that went offline. I'm
white.
But yeah, I mean, yes, you are white. You're very white. You're horrifyingly pale white. Not as bad as Mira, but still.
Yeah, no,
look
at this shit. Look at it. Look at it. It's ridiculous. Look at how pale I am.
Mira, are you around tomorrow morning?
Yeah, honey.
I want to continue this conversation tomorrow.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to get going. Thank you for having me on again. But listen, we need to do this on Friday during the day over on Stephanie's channel because we need to get one up on hers.
I can't do on this Friday, because I'm getting my rental car, and so I'm going to run some errands. So y'all can go fuck yourselves.
Okay, so then so everybody knows there will be a round table chat with me and Stephanie on Friday during the day, sometime in like the noonish time. We talked about this, Stephanie. Don't look at me like that. So
is Lady Greg Dancer joining us again, or what?
I don't think she is. I think she's probably going to be busy till next month. But you and me can still talk on Friday.
But me and Mira are probably going to do tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
This conversation, so I can continue my rant. But I need to go order me some food because I'm fucking hungry and I'm too fucking lazy to cook my own damn fucking food.
And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Thank you for everybody in the chat that commented. Any questions and opinions, and thank you for all your wonderful input. And thanks, Adam, and thanks, Stephanie. I'm gonna go fuck my man. I'll have a good night, and y'all have a good one too.
Oh,
bye bye.
don't forget to
fuck
remind me
myself.
about Friday, or I'm going to remember.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.